So for my breakfast sandwich, I'm going to be using pork belly instead of bacon, and I'm going to be serving it up in a Waterford blah. And if you've never had the pleasure of trying one of these things, it's like flour, water, and a fluffy cloud in a nice bread roll. Now, I know you think it might be a lot of effort to light your charcoal barbecue just to make breakfast, but this chimney starter is going to make the job so much more seamlessly. If you're like me, you just want all the guesswork taken out of it. All you need to do is get yourself some lighter cubes here that you can get these almost anywhere. Look how simple this is. Leave it like that. Your fire should be ready in about 15 minutes. Give you the perfect embers. The way I've always seen charcoal, and the way I'd like for you to see it as well, is it's like a seasoning. Like your salt and pepper just on the side of your plate. It adds an extra dimension to every dish, and it's incomparable to any other flavour. So it's been about 15 minutes now, and the coals are exactly where we need them to be. A bit flaky, and they stopped smoking at the side. Being very, very careful, because this is the part where the most accidents can happen. Now what we're looking for is that perfect little flake there. You've got our embers just glowing, ready for our breakfast blah. I'm using some quality assured pork belly here. You can obviously use bacon too, but I just love the fatty texture on the barbecue of pork belly. Some salt, some pepper. So I've got two zones on my barbecue here. I've got my direct side, which is all the heat, and then got my indirect side, which is kind of like the retreat zone, the cooler side. Because a lot of the mistakes I see people making, especially with the sausage, is they put it directly over the coals. It's just gonna burn your meat instantly. This is why we use the indirect side, to bring everything up to temp, and you're still getting the flavor of the coals, like that seasoning we talked about. Don't be shy with the salts. A lot of it's gonna fall through the grill anyway. I'm just gonna wash my hands. Now, while my meat is cooking, no breakfast sandwich is complete without a sauce to rinse it in. Now, I think I've come up with the perfect barbecue sauce that's going to be a mix of the classic American barbecue sauce and that brown sauce we like to smother on our sandwiches in Ireland. First ingredient is apples. I'll take 2 apples here and peel them. I'm just going to core the apples. Just makes it easier so you don't have to do it on the other side of the cook. 1 whole onion. Now, I'm just gonna leave the skin on because we just want to char on the outside and then a bit of steam on the inside just so it softens. So I'm just gonna put the apples and the onions on this imaginary line where the direct heat and the indirect heat meet. Because what we're looking to do is just get that barbecue flavor in, that char, that smokiness, that beautiful seasoning we're talking about. Next step, we're gonna heat up some vinegar and then we're gonna hydrate our dates. Now, it doesn't need to be boiling, we just want to heat it up. Down in the southern US, they like to use mustard in their barbecue sauce, but today we're going to be using mustard seeds. And to get all the oils and that beautiful aroma out, just give them a little toast first until they start dancing. While everything is doing its work here, we're going to start in the base of our sauce. Use a bit of ginger and some garlic. Now, I like to take the skin off the ginger with a spoon. It's just one of those ingredients I hate wasting. Ugh. The easy way to skin your garlic. Gives you a nice aroma as well. Now, to speed up this process, I'm just going to use a microplane. It's going to take all the hard chopping work out of it. Same with the ginger. There's a nice instrument down in South America they use called a rachador, which means a grater. And it's just a... You can imagine the music, can't you? Now, my vinegar has come to a nice temperature here. We don't want it to boil, we just want it to rehydrate the dates. So all that beautiful sugar mixes in with the vinegar to make a beautiful sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. Just enough to cover the bottom. My mustard seeds have started to pop. Ooh, beautiful, toasty, mustardy aroma. We're gonna add our minced garlic and ginger. Now, we don't want this on a super high heat, just a little sizzle. Now at this stage, about 3 or 4 minutes in, we're gonna add 3 teaspoons of tomato paste, always with the rhythm. We're just gonna mix that around. We're gonna add a little bit of seasoning, just a pinch of salt, and a little pinch of pepper. I'm just gonna leave these ingredients to get to know each other a little bit in the pot. while we see how our apples and onions are getting on. Now they're nice and soft. Just look at this little char. That's exactly what we want. I'm gonna chop our apples up and our onions. Just a rough chop. And add them to the party. Cook this down for about 2 or 3 minutes, just so we can get the apples and the onions covered in the oil. Gotta say, it's my favorite part. That initial waft means there's a good meal on the way. Now we're gonna move over to our date vinegar now. And you can see they've come all nice and soft, and the sugar has mixed with the vinegar. And we're gonna add this, dates and all. Now while this whole process is going on, we just want this at a gentle simmer. We don't really want to boil it too much. We just want the vinegar and all the flavors to evaporate and combine and just make this beautiful sauce that's perfect for any meal. Our last few ingredients, some Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons just to give it that pucker. Now spice is a subjective measurement, but I'm going to be using about a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now I'm going to be using 100 grams of a dark brown sugar. This is muscovado sugar, and it's going to add an extra layer of richness that's going to just bind everything together to make a nice, sticky, glorious sauce. We'll give it a little mix. Now there are a few elements in this sauce, but if you keep it bottled in the fridge, it's going to last with you about 3 months. So that's coming up to boil. I'm just going to turn the heat down, pop the lid on, and let it simmer. Let all those flavors combine. Our pork belly and sausage have come right up to temperature. But what breakfast would be complete without a fried egg? How do you do a fried egg on a barbecue? Let me show you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little boat out of our pepper and just put it directly on the grill. Just gonna remove the inside core. The great thing about these red peppers is they're quite resilient on the grill. So I'm gonna put them in between that line where the direct and the indirect side meet. I'm gonna crack an egg inside. I think these eggs deserve a bit of seasoning, a bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna leave them there for about 20 minutes until the eggs are nicely cooked. And our last ingredient, a bit of black pudding. Again, we're gonna use that line in between our direct and indirect side. Now I'm just gonna flip our pork. Oh, that is looking good. Oh, I love when a plan comes together. I'm gonna put the lid back on and let our eggs bake. Let's have a look at our sauce. Beautiful, velvet, silky sauce. So I'm gonna blend it up. Now we're just looking for a nice smooth consistency. Get all those apples and onions. And we wanna break up the mustard seeds as well so they can release their true potential. Beautiful. Just for the last little part, we're gonna remove our sausages and we're just gonna butterfly them. So we get like a nice charry caramelization. We've got that sizzle. It's coming to that part to assemble our blah. Just a little spread of butter. I like to spread that pudding on nice and thick. And our lovely crispy pork belly. Now check on our sausages. They should be nice and crispy and caramelized. And a nice healthy dollop of our beautiful brown sauce. Now on the side, our baked egg. Oh, lovely, still nice and jiggly. I'm just gonna top it with a bit of green in the form of chive. Look at that. It's a breakfast of champions in my eyes. That's the perfect way to start a Sunday morning. It's got it all. It's got that smokiness from the barbecue sauce. It's got that saltiness from our pork belly, crispiness from the sausage, and it's sided with the baked egg and the pepper. This is a nice breakfast.